Hello everyone, this is John Lake. I'm going to be doing a water filter change today. This is a cottage water system, and we have a pump that's in the lake. It's called a deep well pump, and that comes in through the wall over here and then goes into the pressure tank, and then it follows through into the Viqua filtration system. So there's a primary filter, which is sediment. There's a carbon filter, which removes taste. And then there is a UV unit right here, which sterilizes everything. And then there are various valves and shutoffs and whatnot that are important to do this this whole operation. So today what we're going to do is we're just going to be changing the primary filter, and that is done roughly every 3 months or so, or whenever the pressure at the tap reduces. So normally what we have is we have 3 different filters. We've got the sediment filter here, we've got the carbon filter here, and then we have a new UV element, which is for the sterilization there. Now I always like to do this operation with a towel and a bucket nearby, you'll see, because there will be some water escape happening. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to get started with this. So the first thing I've got is a new filter. This is the primary filter. It is a 20 to 5 micron sediment filter. And I'm going to take that out of the package, because what I want to have is I want to keep this label, which is in the package. And why that's important is it tells me which unit I have in the system here, so I know which one to buy the next time. It also is, I keep a record of when I changed it last, and then that gives you an idea of how often you're needing to change the filter, depending on how dirty everything gets. So the first thing we need to do in changing this first filter is we've got to obviously take the filter from the package, and then the one we're going to change is the primary down here. Now right now the system is under full pressure, so I need to relieve the pressure on that. So I need to shut off the input, and I also, on the other side here, I want to shut off the output. There's a sediment top here, and I'm going to open that up to just let some of the pressure out, which you can now see on the gauge. The pressure is gone. And the other thing we need to do is these are going to be full of water. So I have to release the pressure. There's a button on the back here for releasing that pressure. This particular system here has a lock nut and release, so you can loosen that. Other systems don't have this tool, in which case you would use this type of band clamp operation for that. So now that this is loose, I can release this cartridge from there. So that I'm still holding it to support it, and then when I release the back pressure in here, this is going to start coming down, and we're going to get our water from this system here. It's coming, and there's going to be water coming here soon. There she goes. Now we know why I have towels. So as we can see, our old filter has trapped quite a bit of dirt, and it's time to change that one out. There's also an O-ring, and that has to be put back in place. If the O-ring needs some lubricant, you can put a little bit of Vaseline on that. This one still has a fair bit, so I'm not going to need to do that this time. So we might do that at another change interval. So it's really quite simple. The filter just goes in, you line it at the bottom, and then it's going to go back up here. And then we put the retaining ring back up. get the tool, tighten it back up. And this does not have to be super, super tight. You can just till it stops, and then that should be good. And then at this point, we can turn the pressure on here. And it comes up. We look for leaks. We don't see any. And then we can just, at this point, let a little bit of water out through the sediment tap. Shut that off, make sure there's no leaks. And then the last thing, we open up the valve, which releases the water to the house. And that's it. The primary filter is now changed. If we were going to do the next filter, which is the carbon filter, which is for flavors and odors, it would be the same operation, just a different filter. As the last step, what I'm going to do is take a marker, put today's date on it, and add that to my list of filters that I've changed in the past. Thank you very much for your attention today. We'll see you next time with the next filter or with the UV bulb change. Thank you.